Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. This is the 31st of the Four Ways projects, and this month Tomislav decided we should do a frame, and I elected to do a mirror. So I made this one, shot a very nice video, no sound. I don't know exactly what the problem was, but there was no sound. So I set about making another one, and I got a long way with it, and then discovered a split down here, which you will see on the video. Too dangerous to continue with. So what you'll actually see is me making the third one here out of camphor laurel, 6-inch mirror, and had quite good fun making them, and they will hang on the wall. Now I've left most of the problems I had in there. There were a few little issues, and that I think makes for a more interesting video. And if you watch all of this, I do encourage you to look at what the other three got up to, because I'm sure their approach to making a mirror will be slightly different to mine. And it'll be interesting to know what they put in the frame as well. Now you'll find the links to their videos in the notes of this one. This is my mirror blank, close on a foot diameter, and about 1.5 inches thick, which is 40 millimeters, right, so about 295 diameter. I have a mirror which is chamfered, and that will give me a nice wide border to the mirror, slightly bigger than I had in mind, but this is the blank I've got. I could just turn a recess for the mirror and stick it in with hot glue or something like that. But I prefer to mount it so that there's a little bead just coming over the chamfer, and the mirror will be held in place by a disc at the back, MDF disc. So the first job, in fact, is going to be to true this, and I do that between centers. I'm actually going to do 2 discs, just in case something goes wrong with the first one. These were drawn with dividers, so and then cut on a bandsaw, so they're not dead accurate, but I can use the center there, which was where the center of the dividers were, and then true up these 2 blanks as near as I can with my fingers, tighten that a bit, and I'm just going to rough this down using a 3/8 spindle gouge. Oh, that's exciting. I obviously didn't put it down quite hard enough. A bit more pressure this time. It's always good to see things going wrong. You don't learn much unless things do go wrong. Being MDF, that's taken the edge pretty well clean off the tool, so that'll have to go to the grinder. Make sure it is completely round, which it is, and off to the grinder to do the gouge. We'll just skip through this, roughing down the disc, screwing up the bottom, making it smooth, quite a nice bit of wood, and then it comes to parting off what will be the frame blank, so I can keep and use the middle that's left. Turning the recesses, the back fits, good, the mirror fits, and then I make a discovery. Right, I've just spotted another problem split. I had to abort this mirror because of this split which opened up, and it's just too dangerous to work stuff like this. Super glue would hold it for maybe about 5 years and possibly not hold it for more than 20 minutes, and I'm just not going to risk it. I might try some epoxy later, but as far as this mirror is concerned in this project, that's no good, and I go to another blank. This is now Mark III, my third attempt at getting a video done on a frame. So, don't need all the screw. This is a piece of camphor laurel. So the first thing is just to get the overall dimensions roughed out. Just true up the base to start with. And the side. So 3/8 bowl gouge, 3/8 flute. Blank is a little bit off balance, half sat, half outward. Check there are no nasty surprises, but so that is heartwood, goes across at an angle, and that's why it's all rattling. So the diameter of the disc, which is going to hold the mirror in, is that. The mirror is a 6-inch mirror, the center. And then I want to cut inside that, so there's a flange for the mirror to sit against. Now I want to keep the center so that I can make something else out of it. So I'm going to part in on that line. The smoke is the oil in the wood vaporizing. I'm going in up as far as the top of the curve, top of the bevel, and then I come in from the side. Aiming for the intersection of the top of the bevel and that diameter, so easy to get it just slightly wrong. Let's see how we go. I'm working in about 15 millimeters, half an inch from the top. Noise tells me I must be getting close. Looks as though I've gone far enough. so there's my mirror, there's my bowl. And that will be in its own little video later. So the next job, this is the top. Next job is to get a little bit of a shoulder in there which I can expand the jaws onto. I could just go straight onto there and turn the back, but I'd rather do it this way around, so if I need to re-chuck the piece several times, I can. I should have learnt by now that had I thought about it, I would have put a shoulder on the other side. So that was an error. So now I've got to true this up by eye. Don't think I can get much better than that. I've got some slightly larger jaws and I'm going to expand into that. While I'm at it here, I'll just true up the inside lip. A little bit. Let's come in at an angle there. Yeah, that should be all right. It's very easy to leave not enough wood down here at this stage, as I've discovered in the last two I've done. Now that's not going to be quite big enough to get out to there. Just got that large enough, so that's going to go onto that little groove, which is slightly under 1/8 of an inch, probably about 2 millimeters. Right, slightly out of whack, true it all up again. This has got to be tilted in slightly so the rim is what is against the wall. Knocking sound there means it's not flat yet. No, still a little bit to come off here. Next thing is to get my disc fitted. forgotten, I have an offcut of the MDF which can help me gauge the depth I require. Now to take off a very fine amount, I find that easiest to do with a skew chisel bevel side. Just roll the tool in. I can't get it out. So that's why I want an accurate recess on the other side, so it goes back in and just runs true. Next is to get the mirror done, and this is 150mm. This can be a little bit loose because the wood is likely to change shape with the season slightly. There's a little bit of slop there and that'll be fine. So that can now be, I can round this out, and I can do that with abrasive, it doesn't need very much, and sand the back. Grit 240, 320, 320. Beeswax. Now that could be gripped just on the inside where the mirror goes, but it's going to be better if I can get up onto the larger diameter. So I know where the mirror is going to sit on the back, and I can take a little bit of this away and start to shape my mirror. I need something. I've got a hanger to go on the back, so I don't want to get this too thin up here. I'm just going for something pretty simple. That. And just around this over, just going to use the bevel side of the skew again. Stop the handle for a little shear cut. And just have a little test fit of the mirror. So I have a bit to play with here, and I'm going to cut that down. It might look better without the bead on the inside. I don't want the rounded side, I want it flat. A sharp corner on the inner lip up against the mirror. The 3/8 spindle gouge. A bit of an ogee on the outside there, that tool's too big. And sand all that. Now, where do I want to put the hanger? This is almost the most difficult bit of the whole operation. Do I want the darker wood at the top or the bottom? Whatever I do, whichever I do, it's going to be wrong for somebody. I'm going up the top. So I put a little pencil mark on the back, up between the two jaws. So that is the frame done. It now all needs assembling. So when I took this off, I realized I couldn't see any of the chamfer at all. So it looks as though that bead is coming off. Still no chamfer, so I can come down really half this width. So it's really, the bead is going, or this. Right, there's the edge. That's the edge of the chamfer. I'm going to take it back a shade more. Yep, I can do that. Puffs of smoke coming off from the oil. Something like this, which isn't held on by very much, it pays to squeeze the rag cloth onto the surface rather than push. If you push too hard there, you might just leave the whole thing off. It goes in there. Now that will be epoxied there, and this I can have either white or I think the MDF looks a bit better. Now my little hanger is going up here, and that's going to be joining the it's going to be part of the we're going to intrude in onto the inset here. So normally with a wider rim I would drill that before doing this, but in this case I'm going to stick all this together and then drill the recess. Now, in order to get this sticking onto the wood here, I'm just going to sand little bits of this off so that I'm going to use epoxy, 10-minute epoxy, 5-minute epoxy, and so I need some, I don't trust it gluing onto that. I mix my epoxy up on old yogurt carton lids, plastic lids. Should be enough there. That's the last of this tube. I don't mind if a little bit gets onto the mirror or in between the mirror and the side here. Just feel that helps it stay on or stay centered. Right, that will get some weight on it and it will sit there for until it dries, until it sets. I have my holes drilled, drilled the big one first. I went twice the depth that I needed to. It was very careless of me, but I don't think it'll matter too much. And then that slots in there. I thought you'd like to see both mirrors, so here they are in action. And then you probably want to see the bowl that came from the centre of the frame.